Oh, whew, what's going on? Yeah, I got a, I got a story about. It's called the art of trolling. Art of trolling. I got a story. Well, trolling to me is like you want to make somebody angry, and they love to see you sweat. Right? That's what they always say. Just don't feed the troll. A troll is kind of like he's like a prankster, right? But I felt like I need to do this stream, so let me sit down and talk to y'all. Cause y'all need a lesson. Y'all need a lesson. I want y'all to survive the art of trolling. What's going on, UD? Salute. Well, I have a story. When I was a lot younger, when I started the internet back in '03 in MySpace in them days, I felt like what's going on, Tampa? Salute. But I felt like at a time when I was younger, learning about the internet and everything, because I always had computers in my house. I did go outside like normal kids play, right? When I found out about MySpace, I didn't know what the term was. I know it was coined prior to that. And then trolling has changed now because people, hack what they would call doxing. That's a form of hacking. So they get you up out of here. It's, oh, look here what you look like. That's the modern day trolling. The trolling that I remember, we used to talk shit about their families and belittle them. And not only that, we get under people's skin. It's kind of like comedic jokes. And if it's so comedic, it gets physical. But in person, it was like that in person too. Now in person, we didn't call that trolling. We just called it roasting. Where I'm from, they call it we burning a nigga, right? We burn his spirit up. Now, over time on the computer, we use the term, roasting, joking on people, but eventually it turned into trolling if you found out something about him from someone, if he spoke out of turn or if his family, whatever, we just keep roasting him. We roast what he looked like, his presentation, because back in them days, we got you up out of there. I saw that during the MySpace days. Not as much, but if you post a picture or whatever, that's social network, that's it. But what years that changed, even Facebook. But when it got popular in '07, that's what changed things. But what I found out on YouTube, when I first came on YouTube in '07, my channel, that shit didn't exist. I mean, it exists, but it didn't exist as the norm. Because when I first heard the term, believe it or not, I didn't start hearing to that midway when I was on YouTube. Knew what it was because they didn't call it trolling back then. Now, did I heard the term? Yes, but they didn't use the term trolling. Now, some people did in other communities. I didn't hear that in the black community. Not like that online. Not online. No, that took years. I'm gonna tell you my story. I didn't hear that shit until probably somewhere around 2012. But prior to that, I wasn't hearing it back in '07 when I was young, but I didn't know what I was doing back then. Now, '09, I got a story for y'all. I was in the chat room somewhere around '09. Yes, this is when I had a girlfriend at the time. My ex, right? She was, I think, yeah, she was a Libra, of course. Her birthday was in October, but that's here, no there. But that's my ex, right? What's going on, Bruce? Salute. At the time, she got me hooked on that website called Moco Space. Okay, I don't know if y'all familiar. Moco Space was big back in '07. Everybody was first time and it was in and that was it, right? Well, Moco Space, they had chat rooms. Yes, they had the alphabet group. Yes, they had everybody. They instituted that later on. But at the time, like in '09, I felt like that was a good social network, right? She hooked me onto it. Her friend was on it. It was cool. It was all good. It was all great. It was all cool, you know? And we all knew each other from the workplace, right? Shouldn't have had a girlfriend in the workplace. That's what fucked me up. And that's what's kind of into our relationship too. I had to cut it off because she knew a certain individual that she fucked with before me. So I was young at the time. You gotta remember, I'll tell you how old I was. I was 20 at the time, going on 21 because my birthday was in May. This is 2009, y'all. That was about decades ago. That stuck with me until those years. So after that, I wasn't seeking no one else at the time. I was on my Manispherian shit back in the 1.0 days. I was on my Manispherian shit back then. I was different. I wasn't talking about no women or whatever. I was looking at it in a political sense. But in 2009, that was a hell of a year. Now, Mogul Space was fun. Yes, I cut my girlfriend off around my birthday time in May. And I've come to grips of it. I come to grips of it. It's just, it's just like, wow. Like it was wild, but I cut her off because I didn't want that baggage. And then I look at the website. At that time, I had fun in the chat rooms. I'm gonna tell you a story about me. When I first start typing in the chat for the first time, I had those gold um what you call it, the gold writing. And guess what they did when they was messing with me? The shades, the emoji with the shades, the sunglass shades, the sunglasses. That's what they did. They said, "Oh, it's so bright. We can't even see his words. It's so bright." Because I had that yellow print letters in the typing. I thought I was cool with that shit, right? But at the time, I was in my 20s. You gotta remember, I was young. My mind wasn't matured yet. So in them days was fun. Oh, I used to let me tell you a story. I had a troll account. I'm tell you on that site. I'll tell you, and guess what it was? I had my regular account. They put my real name out there. I was legit. I was a character, but then I create my own troll account. But guess what it was called? I got it from Devil May Cry. I used their father, the legendary Sparta. I was legendary knight. That was my troll account. And that shit, I had to cut it off years later. Oh yeah. I had the pictures. I had everything. I had it on my old laptop, Dell Experion. That shit was fucking fun. You know the art of what it was? Most of them people were stupid in the chat. I was so trolling them. I kept saying evil, devil this, evil that. I was young then, right? This is why I kind of left Christianity. But at the time, what's going on, General? Salute. Well, at the time, I'll never forget that. I had that troll account. It's gone now. I deleted that years ago when I had that laptop. But when I found out when I had that account, I had the different phone numbers, right? That's the fucked up thing about it. I had a phone number that's common, right? And then I had another phone number, it was different. So I set them up different, right? Well, they kept fucking with my account. That's why I didn't like Mocha Space. I was done with that shit and then just got my main one. But my troll account, that lasted for a good while. Oh, I deleted that shit. Man, I was crazy. I was trolling people. They thought it was me the whole time, but it wasn't. But they didn't know what to believe. I got the best of them up here. A lot of them just got mad. I used to roast people with that account. I was talking my ish, talking to emo people. I was cussing them out. I was bad. In them days, I had fun. Them days of that form of trolling, the art of it, the beauty of it, man. And that's why I was going to take, because back then, it was no holds barred. Don't tell you a secret. In the Bush, look, not in the Bush. I'll say the Obama era. Let's just be real. In the Obama era, in the beginning, was wild on the internet. It was a wild, wild west. We didn't give a fuck. We just kept going and going, and just knocking people off the block, man. And then the next year, I was crazy on that site. Right? It lasted for a good minute, and I think I cut that thing off midway to the Obama era when he got out of office, something like that. I was done with Mocha Space then. It wasn't the same after that. They kept changing the shit, kept fucking shit up, and I was done with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I seen my forms of trolling. I seen other people get trolled hard with weird shit, and that's part of it. Even on YouTube, I did it in the comments. They thought I was a troll, but in reality, I wasn't. I know how to troll in other areas, but not on YouTube. No, I know the trolling game. Yes, I know the doxing game as well, because doxing is should be illegal, but it's a form of hacking. They're hacking your information, they sell it and sell data, and I know companies do it all the time. But when I look at that, I'm like, that's been going on since I was coming up in my 20s. Most of my 20s, yes, I learned something. I was trying to find a job and everything, but the trolling thing on my downtime, I just did it for fun. I didn't do it to hurt people. I use jokes. I name flip you and just roast you to death and see what you look like and not just bother you. If I find information on you, you have to find it, right? Back then. Now it's on a smartphone. When the smartphones came, that killed it. The old classic trolling, the art of it, what we used to, we just roast the shit out of you if you say what you look like. But today's trolling is bullshit. It's just straight up hacking. They just they got you. If someone send you information what they look like, it's a wrap. They just got you. Look, you see that nigga? You see what he looked like? And it was over. There's nothing you can do. That's what happened to Tommy when he got his head knocked off. He cammed up so many times each year, but 2012 came around. They got tired of his rhetoric and they just popped him. I told you, men had a hard time. Let me tell you something. Men survived and then had a hard time at the same time. We was doing to people. We trolled women. We trolled everybody. I'm just saying, I was something else in my 20s, but I don't miss it. I don't miss the trolling. The art of it is beautiful. I remember the classic when people got into it, but that trolling shit, man, that lasted for like, for me, I kind of stopped somewhere around when I got the job in my mid 20s. I actually kind of stopped because when I left YouTube this time for good in 2014 to 15, well, technically 15 because I wasn't doing content then, I was watching different content. Yes, I watch troll content. Some of it's funny because a lot of people, if they impersonate someone, which is cool. But what I don't like about today's trolling is the hacking part, what they would call doxing. That's what defeats the whole purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't what it used to be. They always gonna be on the internet. You know what I mean? I come to a realization years ago, and I was like that. Now I still stand on that. But the problem with me looking at that, there's an art to it. It's a very art to it if you're creative. Some people just break it. I got a story of it. Let's go on, go P, salute. But for me, I look at it like this. Trolling has always existed in the internet, even in my time when I partake in it in my 20s, kind of lost it in what's going on, Cat? But yeah, at that time it was bad for me in my 20s. I loved it at the same time, but I had fun. I had fucking fun. I didn't give a fuck. Because at that time, I had two accounts on Moco Space. I told you that story, and that was hell for me at first. I couldn't keep up with that account when they kept changing the format. And that site went to shit afterwards. I was in chat rooms, roasting people, talking my ish. I mean, in my 20s, I was something else, okay? And I miss them days. I miss them days. I had conversations in chat rooms that y'all wouldn't even believe. I knew half of those people on there. Half of them. Easy. I showed myself on that website. If you find them old pictures, that was me. I had like little diaries and shit. That's some crazy shit. Had a new girlfriends and all that. I was on that type of bullshit back there. You talk about online shit. I was something else. I told you. And them years was fun. I miss them days, but it ain't what it used to be because people dox each other and then want to go crazy and go guerrilla like like crazy. But people so damn emotional. But yes, I know the art of it. It's a science to it. When you add jokes to it, and you're technically not trolling them. You're just getting the best of them. You know what I mean? If they say something stupid back then, that was my style of trolling. Everybody had their own style. Their style was roasting. Then you got some that didn't roast. They trolled you like if it's intellectual trolling. Then you got your actual doing shit to fuck up someone's little account, and they'll give you a dislike on videos, and that's just it. But here's my issue with doxing people. That person may be dealing with some serious challenge, either themselves or their family. That could be proved. Yeah, it can be. That's why I don't like it either. I mentioned that earlier, but I'm just saying that style of trolling today, I don't really like. That's a form of hacking. They just mad and jealous. A lot of it is just, I mean, they go extreme with it. Because I remember back then it was mild. we just told jokes on you. That was my style. The other thing I learned from it when I was younger, I realized you get under people's skin that they act like they knew what they was talking about. We bodied them, man. That really pissed them off. Now some of them was on that suicide watch shit because they were weak. I'm just saying. I ain't saying they weak, but I'm just saying the ones that's really weak. I ain't talking about the doxing. Take the doxing out of it. We talk about old style trolling. If you was that weak, if you couldn't handle a joke and you kept throwing shots at us, we ended up and then someone trolled you with a fake account, you just couldn't hang. Because back then trolls and regular people was like that on the internet. A lot of people don't know that in certain social networks and media is what they would call it. It was like that. Something happened when the doxing came. The hackers done hijacked the trolls. I hate to say it. They was hijacked. Because a lot of hackers, I hate to say it, they were around back then, but they just and they got you. It's out of there. That's why you got video games like Watch Dogs exist. They did some foul shit. And they barbaric with it and got violent with it. That's why the violence part of it, I don't co-sign it, but I understand whatever you say to that person in the comments. Here's my advice: if you say something in the comments like that, they're gonna come back to pop at you all day, or hey man, you gotta be careful because some people are not right up here. And that was like that in the 1.0 days and prior. If you're on different networks, those people will come at you, man. Because I heard stories that people went missing, and that does happen. So now today's trolling, you gotta be careful because when you're doing live streams, panels, and you have legions of minions, it's a problem. People gonna scratch their head and be like, so where did he come from? Well, you know where he come from. You must have said some shit to him in the chat and they just creep on in. But that's the whole point what I was saying. Like in my day, when I started, it was mild. I came with the jokes. If you talk shit, it was whatever. But if I had a troll account and you didn't know that was me, I got you. I got the best of you. I already won. It's a chess match. And what I mentioned about what SKC when we did that thing with him and Cerulean, that was meaningful. He was trolling him the whole time. He used his own shit and he backed in the corner. That was my thing. That was my style. I used to do that. I used to do that back in the day. I used to do that back in them days in '09 when I had Moco Space. And boy, that site was just let me tell you something about the trolling there. The trolling out there was wild. You thought I was bad. It was a lot people older than me at the time. See, I was in my 20s. It was at this age they were years ago and prior and 40, they were the worst trolls. You know why? They got the best of them. And they ran that shit. That shit kind of died off I'll say 2015-ish. You know what I'm saying? That's when Moco Space went up out of there. They yanked that shit. They changed the whole format. That's why Moco Space is trash right now. Don't even try to join that shit. Everything is trash now. But what I learned about the trolling aspect of the internet, it's still gonna be undefeated. And they can try all these rules. You're not gonna stop them. I've seen in this space, these modern day manosphere spaces, troll for a cash app or trolling for not just cash app but super chats. I meant to say super chats. Cash apps they do troll too and talk they ish, and they troll super chats. I saw that in several rooms. I'll give you an example. Ramil's room, seen that with Taz. I seen that with Agent F's room, aka Mr. Finella. Y'all know as Mr. Fantastic. I seen his shit last year. Oh, I seen trolling in the Brain Trust. Yeah, Brain Trust. Yours truly. Great conversation. Great. We can talk about sapiosexualism all day long. Great conversation. But you know what? He booted his ass up out of there. But trolling does exist. You're not gonna stop it. No matter what algorithm they put you in, the trolls are gonna follow. If you ain't got the numbers, I ain't gonna say like BGS numbers and his subscriber supremacy, shots at the top city, you're not there yet. But if I did have those numbers like he did, he's got a lot of trolls, and I understand of it because trolling It is bad in today's time. Back then it wasn't bad because we didn't know what it was. I mean, we joked and we just did our shit. I mean, a lot of people gotta understand because back in them days, it was fun. I admit it. In my 20s, I had fun. In my 30s, I realized it is kind of childish, but you gotta understand it is a childish nature, but you gotta say you can have fun with guys that act so dumb. Well, actually, they don't act dumb. They are dumb because they say the dumbest shit on panels, right? I just troll the shit out of them. Because those that need to be trolled, that talk all this wild shit about politics and whatever, and don't do their research, they deserve to get trolled. You know why? Because they get on my damn nerves trying to brainwash the youth. Because the youth is listening to what they're saying. They listen to this shit, man. Perfect example, Psycho Candy, all them other guys. Let's not act that they don't listen to what we say. And when Psycho Candy told me that on Wacky's panel one time last year, and he told me on my recent stream that I did months ago when I had him on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Psycho Candy is a prime example, but it's more people like him. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at your analytics. Not everybody's gonna watch you. That his age, he's a little older. But when he was young back then, watching that other stuff and other content back then, the other guys besides me, that's not good. That was older than me back then. But back then, you got to understand something. Trolling became a science. It got to a point, people start learning how to hack people's information, what they call doxing. It gets tiresome. They got too much time on their hands. And I understand why people do it because they want the attention, they want the rouse out of somebody, get under their skin. It could be about anything. It could be about politics. It could be about the sexual shit. It could be about your personal life. If you put yourself out here for anywhere in the world and just brag that you're the best in the world, they're gonna test your mental. It's not always physical; it's always mental. They live for that because 95% of the time they just gonna come at you. It's like you're fighting them, but you're not really fighting them. But these panelists I see, these panel whoring, they'll spew some bullshit about any ideology and don't do the research. They deserve to get trolled. I'm just sorry, man. Like that's just what it is. I've stopped on a lot of panels like that in the chat rooms because I learned to stop trolling. Now I say I admit my shit, but these dudes don't do that because I understand the game, man. I wouldn't make no money off of that. I wouldn't have a channel and just call myself the troll like that. I just couldn't do that. You know why? Because I'm tell you a secret about those followers. Those followers are slaves. They don't understand. They're yes men. They're yes people. What happens to those motherfuckers? They go find somebody else. They're not loyal to you if something happens to you, if you have suicidal thoughts or whatever, or if you're sick, they ain't got your back. They ain't got your back. They ain't got your back. Because I've seen it too many times. I've seen it too many times. I'll give you an example. Etika. Etika was on that type of time, Ville game reviewer. He trolled. He did all that. But you know what happened at the end? His audience got him killed. I hate to say that. And certain other people, but I'm not gonna mention no names. Rest in peace to the brother, but he died off the bridge. He had some problems. Yeah, he had a kid and a woman. He had everything. He died before the pandemic. He died before the pandemic. And that's a prime example why I say the art of trolling can be good and it can be bad. It's like up and down with me. There's an art to it, what people do. And the reason I titled this stream that way, I just want to explain about trolling, the history of it, or my history of it. It's been mild to me. But can it go extreme? Yes. It does damage. It fucks with your head too. But I ain't saying it's bad or anything, but I'm saying it's bad for certain people because if you got that type of problem, you just got to back off with the internet, man. I mean, when I used to troll, I trolled for fun and got out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I ain't gonna say like, oh, I got the game and I was game banging and all that. No, 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 no. When I trolled for the right certain people. I didn't troll everybody. Because what they do now, they just troll everybody. They just run up and down. They're like, choo, I see him. Choo. They got to press the button. I didn't do that. If you say something dumb and didn't sound intelligent, I'm gonna challenge you on it. I'm gonna make you stand on it. I ask those wild questions, and they'll get mad at you. They'll block you. I've been blocked by certain people on that site. Hell, I've been blocked on here. You know what I mean? I have my block list. I'll say it's a good amount. I block trolls back. So hey, I fought back on here. On here, I don't really give a shit about YouTube, but in other places, I have like a few people blocked on that site, but everybody else blocked my ass. But it's bad. It's bad at times. So it's like an even split how you look at it. But people troll just kill time and do their jokes, get their little shots off, their little contrarian jokes and all that. But the art of it, it's gotten crazy. The doxing part, the hacking part, I don't like that part of it because the younger generation is barbaric. They got those, they got the gunplay. Once they added guns, see the hacking part I understand, but the gunplay behind it, it's just that's why a lot of people get killed over this shit. So I kind of fall back when I saw certain incidents in years and the bullying aspect of it. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? That's the drawback of trolling, right? If you do soft trolling like I do, I'm just playing around. Now, if it's like the bullying aspect or the terrorist aspect of gunplay, the beef aspect of it, you don't want that. Those are, we can't call them trolls. Let's just call them ogres. A troll is just innocent. He's just giggly, talking his ish. You can slap him upside the head. But an ogre, that's an ogre. If you're a doxer, you're an ogre. You can't be a troll. You just an ogre. I'm thinking about the Tekken game, Tekken 3. You just an ogre that absorbs shit. You just an ogre. And ogres are barbaric. They rip you apart. Nasty ogres, man. Living under the bridge. Not in the bridge, in the cave. Ogres are beastly. And you got your ogre species like the Cyclops. You got your rock trolls that are harmless or a little harmless or make them harmless. They can be in between. And then you got your all types of creatures, man. Beastly creatures at that. But these derelict Negroes, man, they act like that. They're a bunch of ogres. I don't see them as trolls. They ogres. How could they be trolls and they act like ogres? I mean, really. See, I'm the T. They're not. I'm harmless. I ain't even a threat to most people. I'm just sorry. I mean, when it comes to, in certain spaces. But if your words are a threat, yeah, people get intimidated. They get pissed. And they get mad at you. They say, why is he doing this to me? I don't want to hear this today. I want to hear your shit. But that's the whole point of it. But see, there's an art to it. They want to act like ogres instead of trolls. But see, trolls, you already know. A troll knows he's a troll. If he's just talking shit, just to be saying it or roasting, that's cool. But when you go beyond trolling, what do we call that? He's an insurgent. He's an ogre. He's a terrorist. We don't negotiate with ogres. We don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Not over here. Not over here. Because it's bad enough if you create a monster, you gotta slay it. You gotta slay the dragon, man. It's getting out of hand because when I look at the last couple of days, I mean, when I'm doing certain people, it's not trolling. I'm just speaking my mind. Only time I troll you if you say something dumb. I'll make you stand on it. You say you stand on it, okay. I stand on my shit. I want you to stand on it even more. What else you got? You know, a lot of people they want to be seen. You know, because I think when you talk about trolling, the history of it. If you want to talk about yourself, like I have experienced at a young age, it was fun for me. I didn't do all this, hacking and doxing. I wasn't a hacker like that. I wasn't that extreme. I didn't have hatred in my heart like that. Only time I did, if you did something wrong, I'll hold that grudge. I'll own up to it and just eliminate it out of my heart immediately. My grudges last for like 5 to 10 years straight, and after that, I kill it, or even 5 years. I can shorten that. Since I'm a Taurian, so I know I can kill grudges. It takes a minute, but once I see the truth, I just kill that shit in months and weeks. I can do that. That's how a bull does. Sometimes bulls they short terming people. We do some silly shit after times. But for my sakes, for me, I admit my shit back in the day. I used to do that shit. And the reason I kind of stopped, I hear a lot of people, like the swatting. I won't get into that. The Xbox, the swatting, right? Over a goddamn Call of Duty game. See, the reason I'll tell you see why I don't play Call of Duty because of that. The reason people do that, they are sore losers, but they also have problems. I'm okay with trolling. I troll me, but doxing people just being looked at wrong. Yeah, you can say that. Doxing people, playing with people's money, people should be banned from. Yeah, you can say that, but they still gonna be here. I got in the comments. Salute, Nino. Let's see. Jesus is fool. Shake your head. Yep. What's going on, Mike V? But trolls know who to do all with, knows who not to do with. You have to be 10 steps ahead. I see that shot's a million miles away. Exactly. Yeah, you got to. Catfish was a city. Yeah, that's a part of it. All of it is. Trolling remind me of the TV show Catfish or MTV. Yeah. Trolls will look you up and hold things over your head. That's what hey, I'm tell you a secret. That's Nino, that's exactly what I was about to get into. That's what trolling really is, if you think about it. If you think about old style art of trolling, if you talk about actual trolling back in the day, before there were smartphones, that's what it's trying to look for. Now, the smartphone killed it. They said, and then my man Jay said they should be banned from YouTube. YouTube is not doing shit. Only Google can ban trolls. It's hard to ban trolls off the internet. Now, if you want to ban trolls, ban them off the internet. They're a part of the internet. I blame people that made it. And shouts out to this ruler to say this. Yeah, the black man created the internet, and we fucked that up. So we gotta take that L. And that's just it's sad, but I'm just telling you the truth. I don't give a shit about it because when you think about it, a lot of people gonna troll for certain reasons. If you don't like a person, that's a strike. You know what I'm saying? Only way you can combat that is regulate the internet. Oh, I have two internets. Oh, I have eight or more than that. Because I don't know what the future's gonna bring. But you're not gonna get rid of that shit. The only way you get rid of it, if you really want to get rid of it, have a counter trolls. Kind of like hackers, right? You gotta have a counter. It's kind of like white hat hackers through the police. You gotta have a counter troll. You gotta understand the game. You gotta not get emotional. If you get emotional around the troll, I'm tell you a secret. If you feed the troll long enough, he's gonna destroy you. He'll turn into an ogre. Fuck a troll, he's an ogre. A lot of these niggas is ogres, man. You just gotta understand, because yeah, a lot of people play people's money. That's part of it, but don't put your money out there. He said, Frank said, the internet will help you build tough skin. I think people need it. Exactly. You gotta have tough skin. To do this shit, you gotta have tough skin, especially online. And I develop a lot. Because if you ain't built for it, and if you used to troll back in the day like I used to in my 20s, I kind of stopped. Somewhere around my mid 20s and 30s. I semi-troll. I really stopped doing it altogether at this age because there's no need. Because a lot of people's handing me the information like, oh, well, we did the SKC on my panel, we did him dirty. We wasn't trying hard. We just hold back. If you make that into your lifestyle, that's crazy. I used to do that shit back in the day. That's '09 shit. This is 2000. This is 2021. See, '09 shit. That's when it was popping. '07. I'll say like '07 from 2012, that's when you got away with shit. When 14, I'll say 2014 to 15, that's when shit ceased. Then they start monitoring your ass. I'm talking about all social media. Because you couldn't do that shit back in 14, 15. A lot of people say you can't. I say cap. You couldn't. Because they flag shit. If you talk anything bad about the government back then, they still knocked your shit down. I don't give a fuck who you was. And it's just crazy. Yeah, you can. I don't even call doxing yourself. You just showing yourself. I let them dox you. And I'll tell you why. If you got caught up in it, but don't get too emotional. Don't be like these dudes acting crazy with it. Don't be like Taz. Don't be like Taz. Because he took it the wrong way. He got emotional. He didn't he didn't he didn't think straight. A lot of people just go evil with it. They become ogres. They're like, ah, you know what I mean? Ah, it's in their head. They can't deal with jokes. They need to learn to laugh a little bit. I didn't act like that. You know what happened to me when I stopped trolling? I didn't go to the bag. I skipped and throw knowledge. That's all I did. I didn't even have to do all that. Crazy, man. But others, yeah. I think the censorship is getting out of control. So do you think it's getting too soft? Yes, it's getting soft. Yeah. If you censor everything about the internet, you're done. People just throw this shit and just collapse it. That's what's gonna happen. That's what they want to do, but they ain't ready for that work. Yeah, it is crossing the line. Yeah, that's that ogre shit. Like I told you, that's not trolling. They need a new term and call that ogering. Call it ogres. That's what they should be called. Once you pass that T, you're on the ozone layer. You're ogre. You know what I mean? You're on that bullshit. It's in your head. It's psychological. What's going on, NTGV TV? Yeah, a lot of people get upset, man. Exactly. American Negro. Yeah, American Negro. Yeah, these niggas, they're stupid. They're stupid. And we built this shit. Only way you can get rid of the internet. Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not even worried about people getting rid of the internet like that. I mean, it's a great tool, but trolling has always been part of the internet. You can't censor shit if they gonna make another, internet. That's a possibility. Or if they want to make one and hand us this shit, that's a cool thing. Yeah, yeah. That's part of what's going on, G. Salute. But yeah, the art of it, man. Yeah, if hey, American nigga, if you started internet young like I was as a teenager, I mean, I grew up half of the internet and I did go outside and did sports and everything. If I'm talking about '03, 03, if you was a teen like my age, motherfucker, you would understand it very well. And I was grown into it over time. That took years to understand what it was what they was talking about. They didn't use that word until later, and I heard it somewhere around 2000. I'll say like 9 and 12 round, right? You gotta understand what's going on. And that realm was like that's a whole nother story. But man, if you was that age, it's just like it's crazy. My trolls looks like Jerome or they get fucked up parallel. Exactly, exactly. Gnome light side, homeless. Shout out to Todd Church for that. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man. I don't understand people nowadays. I used to do that shit back in the day. I kind of stopped, and people just act crazy. And I'm just like, I look at it, I'm just like they just crazy with it. Because one thing I can think about trolling in that aspect, my only experience, I just did it, and I'll never forget. '09, I started doing it. See, I learned from the older guys. That was a cool thing at the time. But at the time, I understand it. The internet was, if you go back in the days like 2003, and I'll say around, I already said around '09, that's when that was the height of it. Because it was a wild, wild west when MySpace was out. You know what I'm saying? The internet had that type of trolling, but it was soft. Back in the day, we was ruthless. We said, fuck you. We just, we ran up on you. But nowadays, it's kind of like what you look at now, it's barbaric. They beyond troll. They ogres. All of this bicker has put me in a fucked up situation because I fuck with all of you guys. Yeah. Okay, cool, cool. MTGV TV. Yeah, MTGV TV. Yeah. Y'all subscribe to our channel. You got a great channel. I think y'all have the right amount of balance, not too serious to where you can't shoot jokes and take everything personal, but also reason with logic. Is yeah, Frank. That's why I was back in the day. I try to be logical with it. I told jokes. If people say some dumb shit, we challenge you on it. And then they want to get emotional and be like, he's making fun of me. He's talking about my conservatism and all that. I'm like, get out of here. Shout out to, yeah, what's going on, Absalom? Salute to you. Of course, he chose money. Mature intellect. Exactly. Frank, that comment above, man, yeah, you gotta have sensibility, man. You can't get emotional to this shit. Especially if someone they ain't got no sense. You fight back. But you understand the game, you understand that a lot of people, when they get online, they don't start off trolling. But from my experience, it's been good, but you learn to defend yourself, but you don't get emotional because you don't take these people seriously. Because if you do, it got you up here in your internal shit. Because in your internal shit, internalized problems. Exactly. That's where the next problem is. People don't want to get challenged. Exactly. That's the problem. That's why it's a necessary evil to have it on the internet. It's part of the ecosystem. Me and DeAndre talk about this all the time about the simps, the Jonathans in the world. They're necessary. You're always going to get tricked. It's just like anything else. It's just like people are always going to get trolled. It's a necessary evil. Everything's a necessary evil. You gotta have balance. The only way you can do that, you can't be an ogre. What's going on, Mace? We appreciate you too, Mace. But yeah, man. Too many people get to say bullshit on here and unchecked. Exactly. You got to, man. You got to. You got to. That's why my channel is similar like that, but it's most of it is not really trolling. Most of it's not. I think some of it is a little bit, but the rest of it is more intellect. That's what my open discussion is about. We could talk about it. We could talk about the history of it and just start roasting. We talk about ish and be petty. We have petty time. I'm gonna, I'm gonna have a thing for Sunday children. We're gonna be petty for a minute and talk our little ish about the people. I can do that. That's super easy. That's super easy. But there's ways to do that. But yeah, I agree with Frank's little comment. It is weak. No one get challenged. And that's the hard part. And I think people gotta understand it's an art to it. But you gotta stay calm. It's like comedy in a little bit. If you make somebody's baby in real life, yeah, they're gonna come and attack you. But if they're weak and they can't fight back, you keep on doing it. They gotta fight back. They're gonna defend themselves. But online it's hard. I wish I could kill this guy online, and they can't do it. Psychological. He has to counter. He has to breathe. Dude, I don't think even it's over 15% trolling, way more intellect, and the history going on over here. Respect the logic. Exactly. There you go, Frank. He said, I'm not a good roaster, but my mind works too slow. But I'm good at roasting myself because I know me. Well, I mean, Ed, let me tell you something. Your channel and approach. Yeah, exactly, Frank. But that's my approach of it. I approach it very lightly because trolling has an art to it. People troll different ways, avatars and everything. I've done that before. Yeah, if you're not a good roaster, I mean, yeah, you stay in your lane. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you laugh at the shit that we say. I can roast in real life. I can make fun of someone and just don't give a shit. If I don't like the person, I just keep doing it. Not stand on it. We don't even have to be friends. But over time, I admit I was petty. I'll hold my hand up right now. I admit I stand on my shit. And then eventually, I hate to say it, you be friends with that person offline. I mean, it's weird. I'll tell you a story. It's so weird. If people followed you, if they never followed you, but eventually they're gonna see you, and you used to troll back in the day, and you admit it, and then you end up being friends and do business together, and you understand the game and understand the art of it on the internet. It's part of the ecosystem. Yeah, I'm King Petty too. Yeah, I admit my shit. But you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta be honest with people on here. Once you start doing this, you'll be all right. You gotta step your hand out. This is my story, what I experienced when I was younger. But see, I'm older now. I don't do that no more. I ain't got that much time. But if you got time to be petty and mix it with trolling, that's a part of it too. That's another art of it. You gotta be a little bit petty in the trolling. You gotta relax. You gotta laugh a little bit. Some people abuse it. When I when I finally surfaced, I'm probably the best roaster on YouTube. My first person I'm going for is O'Shea Jackson. Oh, go ahead. He's easy. He's super easy. He looked like a fucking beetle, man. A ugly ass beetle. I just trolled right there, right now. I think trolling makes people honest due to fear of those trolling and getting the information out first. That is weird though. For real, makes you watch everyone around. Yeah, it does. I mean, you gotta understand that's part of life. If someone's trolling you and saying you bought your subscribers, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. But they wasn't around when I didn't have that many. 2019, that's when I started my shit grow when I wasn't doing content. That's why I talk about evergreen content, man. I understand the system. Oh, salute, sir. Yeah, yeah. We all are. I got, hey, you fellas, I got stories of that shit in my 20s, in my youth. I was barbaric with the shit. I had a troll account called Legendary Spotter. Like I told you in this early in the stream, I was ruthless with it. I was making fun of everybody. I was throwing shots, being petty. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care, and I could do that in person if I wanted to. Because some people are so fucking emotional, but it's easy on the internet because it's like a roasted gesture. I like to talk shit, but I know where the line is. Like I like people who will push back. Yeah, you gotta give me pushback. I'm part of that. For me, it's part of the rites of passage. Yeah, you got to. You gotta be cool. But eventually, over time, even if you make fun of the person roasting, and then like I did with Gino, I apologize to him. Be cool, man. I ain't got no problem with Gino. I ain't no problem with nobody. But I know my limits. Because when I was younger, I used to do that. I can't do that no more. These boys done got good. I approach YouTube with a comical sense of humor, and you have to make fun of it, or it will fuck your mind up. Exactly. There you go, American. See what you just said. Let's read this again for the people that back this slow. I approach YouTube with a comical sense of humor. You have to make fun of it, or it will fuck your mind up. Facts. That's exactly what I'm trying to say in this stream because you can't take this shit serious. And Cerulean told me the best. The reason why he don't talk fast, the reason why he's so methodical, a lot of guys they hate him. They hate him because he pulls a whole card. Anytime you pull someone's whole card, like that's a I mean that ain't a form of trolling, but if you turn it into a troll pro, that hurts them inside. Psychological damage. See, I already won psychologically because they already know my reputation in the chat room. Because I used to do it back in the day. I have a history of it on other sites, but I stopped doing it over time because I understand the game. The younger generation is violent than I am, so I'm harmless. Y'all can't take me serious on here. I ain't your leader like that. I'm just a guy like anybody else, just having an account, having fun, and just be over it. But yeah, man. Yeah, I know. I ain't give a shit. Yeah, man. Good morning, listed from the clouds, but you're so right. The only problem is when folks take it off the internet. Exactly, exactly. Salute to you. Good morning to you, Nadia. Um, yeah, man. I just like I understand it now. See, I'm in my 30s. I can't do that shit no more because I see a lot of people get abused behind that shit. Because when we was young, it was fun. But the 30-year-olds in the past were a lot worse. But they was mild with it, right? See, at our age, we used to be the vicious kids. We birthed these kids. We birthed these millennials and a little bit of alphas. They're gonna be barbaric in the future. I'm trying to tell you. They try to make these rules now, but it still ain't gonna stop them. You just gotta cut certain people off. It's like they try to take off games and shit. I'm just getting exposure to this really recently. I think people don't like him because he can be disrespected, but he stand okay, Sir Anthony. He stands on his disrespect, and the reason I'll tell you a secret. The reason a lot of people don't like Cerulean, he's not a yes boy. He's not a yes boy. A lot of people know he's cool with Charles. He's so cerebral. What I said last night, and what you start seeing on my channel, that's from conversations with DeAndre. I seen him over at Charles, and I know him and DeAndre's close. I know a lot of people don't like my channel based off that, and I understand it. And I'll stand on it. I'm a villain right here. But I'll tell you this: I learned a lot from Cerulean offline, where he's trying to tell me these dudes do this all the time. If you ever talk to him offline, you'll understand what I'm talking about. He said you can't take this shit seriously, man, because a lot of these dudes in it for themselves, man. He pulled me to the side. He said, hey, sir, you know this is bullshit right over here. Yeah, I'll stop by Third Ward. You know I ain't gonna miss it. I'll be there. I was trolled on Paul Talk back in the day. Yeah. You have to remember that this is YouTube and the internet thing is the last chance or effort once they roll out with the metaverse without unity. We're internally lost as a group. Well, I ain't worried about the metaverse. That's shit they trying to do. They're not gonna stop that. The only way they can stop that is they go after certain people. I don't fuck YouTube for one and fuck Google. And I said it. That's a site that's not gonna last. I already know. There's other sites. There's Rumble. There's other. YouTube won't last. They'll lose their audience that way too. The big YouTubers got trolls. Let's cut the bullshit. They're gonna die and collapse if that happens. And I see it coming. I've been saying this for years and years. On certain comment sections, I've been saying that if you keep selling people out, the content dies. I mean, they failed a lot of people. That's why a lot of people say F YouTube and Google all the time. Because I remember 2012, it's over, man. It's gone, Mr. DJ Music, Supreme Elder Salute. I agree, but the people with the bullshit get all the views and attention and knowledge. People like get one or two people in the. I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. American Negro. American Negro. If you're telling the truth and you're going against the grain, if you go against the fake conservatives or whatever, or whoever, they're out of there. That's that's not evergreen content. Because over time, I realized the shit that I talk about on my channel does may not get views, but I'm helping the young minds to see different things. Now, I can talk about different parts of history, talk about what's what, and then the women a little bit, but I'm not going to go in depth. I want them to research it. I ain't got to read it off for you. And control too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't worried about that metaverse shit. That's some bullshit. That probably going to be disputed in court by big YouTubers. So big YouTubers gonna save y'all little asses. They the only group that's gonna save y'all little asses. That's why I don't trust it. Don't trust monetization. Don't trust monetization because that's another game they're gonna try to get you with too. Never trust nothing from Google, man. They control you too. If I'll give you an example. If the woman that's runs YouTube, right? You ever heard of saying won't go broke? They can fire her immediately. Wherever's happening right now with this shit that DeAndre gave me that information, they ass is out of there. I already know. And if I was YouTube, I'd get rid of the flag button. I'd get rid of the flag button because if you wanna make it Disney World like and we can change our content, yeah, they should get rid of the flag button. Let Google do that. Yeah. Cause see, let me tell you something about flag buttons. If you flag something, that's too much power. You know what I'm saying? What type of country, I mean not country shit, a company that lets you have a flag button. That goes for all social media. What type of concept is that? A lot of people will look at that as like that's too much control. They should did that years ago, but see they ass backwards. That's why I don't see it last that long. I mean, YouTube is just a small branch, but the spaces that we talk about that could go on Rumble. If Rumble changed some thing, they be like, "Oh, we can't do what YouTube did." You know what I'm saying? People looking. It's a lot of problems. I'm just saying. I mean, we gotta look at the big picture. So years, and it's still a lot that I don't know. Sir Anthony, if you learn a lot, you'll see. We had that discussion over at Rashawn's. I see you going to say the audience need to be more mature about it, but didn't want to step on toes. But also, it's very complex. It's not only the audience. We have a lot of algos in too. Egos. What you mean by that? Yeah. He said, I like DeAndre taking things. Yeah, he is. DeAndre drops that fire. A lot of people just don't like it. To me, all three I enjoy listening to, can listen to all days. They're heavy hitters. He says Sir O, DeAndre, and Cerulean. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, Cerulean is cerebral. He was the last piece. Cerulean don't, he already got it made. He told me something about this shit. I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked. When he told me about the Sons of Liberty, yeah, the algorithm. Yeah, the algorithm ain't shit. I don't trust it. Fuck the algorithm. They can change that. Um, 4 months from now, and it won't get you flagged. Exactly. So yeah, man, like yeah, you gotta have some sense. It's gonna die off, but you can't trust it. You know what I'm saying? This shit that's what you say, the pandemic. It shouts out to Ask Nathaniel about that. He said that shit is not realistic. That's why it's a joke because a lot of people don't like the biasness behind it. See, Google get bought by some other billionaire guy. I don't even trust the company anymore. They failed from '08 to now. They done failed. It's a bad product, and it went to down the shitter. I saw it failed in those years when I made the second channel. When I lost my first one, I ain't gonna get flagged next year or this year because I already know that I'm already in the safe zone. Not even worried about it because I'm not gonna be beefing with everybody on here because what's the point? That's why I made this stream. Yeah, the art of trolling is crazy, but there's levels to it. Yeah, that's what it is. Goes not so much. to the logical. Yeah, exactly. Hey man, shaking my head. You got to understand. Back in 1.0 days, it was about knowledge. You had to do the research. If you was going against the system, that was great. That was a great era. Okay, it died in 2014. A lot of people think it survived in '05. No, the best years was '07 and 2014. I'll tell you why. Because '07 and 2014 were the golden years of YouTube. And the reason I say that is because we know what time it is. Oh, good morning, Toya, the ultimate tutorer. What's going on? Good morning. But that's the problem with certain people, man. Because people get emotional to this shit. And I'm not even tripping off of it like that. So yeah, it's crazy. I just don't understand how different mindsets and disagreements can be make black people say fuck each other eternally on a computer system. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, YouTube, Facebook is like the telephone monopoly. Sooner or later, it'll get broken apart. Exactly. That's what. See, that's what people don't understand. This site has been finished 1,000 times over, just like Facebook. Facebook is done because they got that human trafficking charges by Zuckerberg. Yeah, he should do some time. But what's going to say? What's going to save him? What's going to save him? Weak people. Please, Mr. Zuckerman, help me. All that type shit. They're gonna help him. That's why I make sure to come to her to get the history of things. I know you were around then. Yeah. Oh, come here. That you meant to say come here. Yeah. Yeah, man. I was around a long time, man. This is like my second channel. I tell people I've been here for like decades and I understand the game. No, it's already like Facebook or Sir Anthony. I don't know what you're talking about. That's Google. You blame Google for that shit. You gotta understand, Google, Facebook is competing with each other. YouTube and Instagram is like that, but Instagram is done because they scared of TikTok. If TikTok falls away with Instagram, no more Instagram because people gonna lose interest. I don't see why people go to these sites, and I'm saying the trolling aspect of it. Yeah, it's getting worse. Facebook is trash. I don't fuck with that shit. I disabled that shit years ago. I got a lot of family members on it. I don't fuck with Facebook. It's too invasive, and it's done. So you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, they get pissed off about a lot of things, man. I understand that when you have websites like these, yeah, the art of trolling is no joke, man. Like people have their styles. I mean, we was mild with it back in the, I'll say in the '09 days, and that's just what it is. But nowadays, it's barbaric, man. When I studied the history of hacking on the internet, when I did some research years ago while I used to work, I saw some foul shit. Damn. But I didn't think it was that bad. But see, you learn a lot from people, you know, their history. I kind of fall back over the years. I mostly have Facebook for friends in high school and family members. Yeah, same here. But now I'm thinking about saying fuck it and then activating it. But they also have so much of my information it won't matter anyway. Exactly. It wouldn't matter. They still track you. Yeah, I'm semi with mine, Sir Anthony, but I kind of calm down. I'm coming a very mild myself. But they are ruined Instagram for those who remember it before the algorithms. Exactly, they've been ruining it. You gotta blame Zuckerberg for that, or Zuckerman, whatever his real name is. It's like now you have to cater to the algo. It's bullshit. Yeah, that's why I say fuck the algorithm. Don't play the algorithm game. That's how you lose. They unsubscribe your subscribers. I already know the game they're playing. That shit ain't gonna work. They just losing. You know what's gonna happen though? It's gonna die the same way I've seen other internet sites. You better be careful. It's always someone better than you. It ain't gonna last for decades. People gonna get tired of your shit. We're gonna need a stream in that. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Well, this is a stream right now. I'm talking about it, but I will talk about a piece of it if it's a problem or it's just died. I won't say something like that. I'll say did trolling died. The golden years of trolling kind of died. I mentioned it from 2014 and the beginnings. I'll say '03 and 2014 because a lot of it changed at the time because the rule changed. I'm gonna say like 2013 to be fair. That's a 10-year span, and that's not fair. And I know people knows. I did executive protection for Yvonne Spiegel over at Snapchat in Venice for 2 years, and then I resigned because I got a job in special effects. Okay, no disrespect, but the Facebook leans towards white America because they see it as an American success story. Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, 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 Elder. True, true. I agree with that. I agree with that. That's why I don't fuck with it. That's they shit. Black folks shouldn't fuck with it either. They should get off Facebook. Me personally, they should kill Facebook. Let the white folks kill themselves on that. No pun intended. I don't care about their asses. Yeah. The meta is trying to move from social media to more in home tech where your data can be easily accessed. Oh, of course. Of course. They've been doing that for like the past couple of years. That ain't nothing new. I mean, the meta tech, yeah, but it ain't going to solve nothing. All you're going to do is create more hackers. I'm sorry. I don't care if that's going to work. This site is done. That happens. You got to blame FCC for that. You got to blame Trump for that. He did this shit. I still blame him for that. The internet shit. That's why a lot of people don't like the internet now. So Biden's gonna have to clean that up, or people's gonna say fuck Google altogether. That's what's gonna happen if y'all ain't careful. Because these sites are gonna not last. Got too much competition, man. BitChute is trash. I don't fuck with BitChute. I tried that shit. I just didn't like it. It's bullshit to me. My next stop will be Rumble. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it is trash, man. Like I don't like the format. I just don't. He ruined a lot. I mean, policies. He allowed liberals to damage the internet. He didn't have control. Exactly, exactly. Parent company. Yeah, that's that bullshit. Yeah. The reason, the reason, the reason I say it is because the reason when Trump got out of he's the biggest troll of all time. Anytime you attack right wing people, they cause problems. And anything that's liberal based, they're paying. Yeah, they're paying for it. So no, I ain't deeper. This is deep shit. It's not that. It's bullshit. I call bullshit on that. That's not true. Google's been doing this for years. Y'all don't know Google like I do. Google has done this shit before 1,000 times. People are tired of this shit. It will not. It will not help you grow. Whatever. I know the game, man. They don't give a fuck about you. I seen it. Y'all can't tell me about Google. Google's been doing this for years, man. That's why earnest voice is important. Y'all should read that shit. That's why niggas can't get along. That's why cerulean is important. You gotta think for yourself. You can't make money off this shit long term. Yeah, man. Because a lot of people they're done, man. I don't see them thriving off this shit. Yeah, it's true, man. I don't see nobody prospering off of this shit. You got to be smart. You got to be. I'll give you a standard: PewDiePie or Marquise Brownlee. That's it. That's what YouTube wants. That's what Google wants. Notice how everyone sees me in everybody's chat box with a wrench. It's because I literally come in peace as a barbershop owner, and I have always serviced the community. Why? Exactly. That's a true serviceman of me. Yeah, Rumble's pretty good, man. I checked it out. Wacky told me about it. Well, actually, Soul and Black told me about it. He said it's pretty good because it could help you long term. You can say what you want on there. You just gotta be careful with certain things. Just read the policies. You'll be good. I'm gonna invest in it because this site is tainted already. It's all about who's in ownership and who's in Google too. If she fucks up the image of YouTube, I'm gonna say it like this: there's a saying called woke. If you go if you go woke, you go broke. They'll get rid of our ass. And that's true. A lot of people don't want to believe that, but that's true. I don't subscribe to that wokeism shit. Y'all niggas wake up, man. They don't care nothing about you off this shit. I've seen a lot of people say fuck Google and YouTube together. They want this shit gone. There's certain people on other websites want this shit gone. I've seen it happen. Black folks is not loved like that. The more cries when they sue that lady about the algorithm thing, they were racist. Don't be surprised, man. I already know what's going to happen in the future. I already know what the politics of the game is. It's not going to happen right now. This is going to wait. Yeah, man. A potential to make big things happen, but folks cannot get along enough to make it. Exactly. It's all been that way, American nigga. You got to study YouTube. YouTube is been done. It's been done. Hell, I said it was done years ago. You could have done that since 2012. Mighty Network is an alternative to Facebook groups or other social media networks. Been watching this site grow for a couple of years now. Unlike Facebook, it's not totally free. Exactly. They have to be restricted. It's just like Rumble. Rumble's like that. Exactly. Oh, let's read that again by Engineering Canvas. The algorithm picks the most popularized topics, but that people watch is about popularity versus quality. I talked about this in my older streams. Evergreen content versus stagnating content, known as stagnation content. That's the problem. That's the problem with Google/YouTube. You know why? It won't last forever. Evergreen content creators will exist on YouTube. Period. It just ain't gonna be a better site in the future because a lot of people's gonna leave this shit in the near future. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Because more people, if you take politics out of that whole thing, this whole site or whatever, it dies. I see it too many times, man. MySpace kind of died. It's just a music thing now. It's not what it used to be. So you got to look at it from that angle. So there'll be certain spaces again. You just gotta find your niche. But these streaming apps is putting them out of business. That's gonna be the thing, and they'll turn into like a YouTube, whatever. That's not good. I mean, it's good, but it's not good. But we'll see. I ain't saying they have a new woman at the helm, but it's a possibility they don't need another woman because she done fucked up the whole site, the essence of it. But if she don't make them enough money, it's out of there. But if I was her, I'd get a higher position in Google. Yeah, stop all this shit. Stop all the fake gender war and shit. Because what's going to happen to y'all asses, y'all going to learn. You got to learn to adapt, man, because this site ain't going to last forever. They already know what's coming. What's saving? I'll tell you what's saving Google and YouTube. Popularized topics. That's what's saving them. Evergreen is not saving them because they leaving. He ain't going to retire, and I doubt it. He's not winning again. But I get what you're saying, American Eagle, but he ain't winning. He's done. He said too much. They're going to shut him up. Yeah, they're going to get rid of the flag button. They should. Will people roll with intellectual content? The answer is no. Exactly. Exactly. Engineering council. Yeah, they're not. That's called evergreen content. They don't want that. I'll tell you why they don't want that. Like I said, if you would have came, I know you was around, but if you would have said if we would make money off of intellectual property or get LLCs, y'all should have did that in 2012. Y'all should have did that. But the problem was under Obama. Things mattered at the time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they should get rid of the flag button. That's my suggestion of YouTube and Google, man. I mean, Google and YouTube. Because if you really see, if you want to get technical, you should get rid of it. Because all it does is fuck up your algorithm shit. Yeah, because I seen people say a lot of shit, but you gotta look at it for what it is, man. Because some people they just crazy with it. Yeah, yeah. The art of trolling, man. Like I said in this stream, a lot of people they just can't do what they want to do. But yeah, it's stupid. I know engineering Kansas. I know it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. They love those topics. But I'll tell you a secret. That's what makes money. Suspicious Samuels again. Height of the dereliction of the Negro. Shouts out to Cerulean. He done told y'all. He done said it. Earnest voice. Yeah, everybody's experiencing it. They ain't putting us in one group. They've been wanting to try to do that, but they're losing their fucking minds because they ain't got no culture. See, TikTok don't put pressure. It's not hurting YouTube. It's actually hurting Instagram. And TikTok ain't gonna last either because not everybody's gonna fuck with it. See, YouTube's trying to have TikTok shit. They got YouTube Shorts. They're desperate. They need niggas. I hate to say it. I hate to say it like this. Google just loves niggas. I'm just gonna say it right now. They just love niggas. They want to be yes men. And if you, let me give you an example. Have y'all noticed about the million subscribers? I'll give you an example. I know PewDiePie is the top of the heap of the video game. Yeah, he said some racist shit. He said the N word, right? But if you study Marquise Brown, the tech guy, my dad always said this. Marquise Brownlee has like what 4 studios? He told me he's got his own tech thing. He got his phone case from him, his company. That dude, when he leaves YouTube, his views go up. But when he gets on YouTube and does pre-records, his millions go up. It's just like I'm scratching my head. I'm like, but the rest of the black of the heap of that too underneath him is following the same pattern. But the majority in these spaces, they don't follow that shit. Yeah, that's why I hate too. Yeah, it's the same shit. What's strange is that on my TikTok, I can play music, all kinds of stuff. But on YouTube, yeah, that's because of the bullshit media. That's the industry shit that needs to die off. But they'll come to TikTok and try to challenge that shit. But TikTok's not a good option either. They got some shit rules too. I wouldn't trust TikTok. How do you preach high value and don't show men how to be high value through avenues like tech, business, cannabis, and many more? Exactly. I agree with that. How can you teach that? They can't teach shit. It's sad to say, but the internet that we live in, they want that BS, man. Like I said, they love it. They don't want no black people. They want guys like me. No, they want my ass gone. And you got to be like that. Yeah, that's how Instagram was. They try to take, yeah, that's how Instagram was. Funny how Sinji, Taz, Kevin Samuel noticed how that the rapper saying he wanted to grape, I ain't gonna say rape, but rape, yeah, and kill black women. All the ratchet streams are always in your feed. Exactly. You know what happens in there in my feed? I delete them. I tell YouTube, don't bring that bullshit. It's up to the people though. You can, yeah, it's the people. True. And let me tell you something about the people that follow that shit. They're bots. They're fickle. That's why they're gonna end up being destroyed in the future. Like I said, keep on. They're the problem. That's why you got to stay away from that shit and remain small. I've been doing it for years. It only takes so long. Well, that's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, it's our fault for creating the algorithm. It's one of the worst things. That's just being trifling and lazy. And now we ain't shit because of it. We ain't getting no money off of that. So yeah, the white man kind of create that too. Yeah, yeah. Facts, Frank. Yeah, mindless bots. That's right. Yeah, they gonna go. They nothing but fake troll accounts. They love the docs. Well, actually, they're ogres. My fault. They're ogres. I said that in the stream. Yeah, man. Yeah, let me go. I done said enough about art of trolling. I'll talk about this in a stream. I'll probably talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, I see. Yeah, let me get off here. But yeah, shouts out to everybody that came through. American Negro, Supreme Elder, aka Mr. DJ Music, Shake My Head, Frank. Who else came through? Engineering Cannabis. Shouts out to everybody, man. Shouts out to DS1 for sharing the stream. Nino, who else came through? Sir Anthony May, salute to you. MTGVTV came through. Shouts out to her. Go check out her channel. Third Ward Colombian, known as Third Ward. Sincerely yours, Nadia. Appreciate you coming through. Shouts out to everybody, man. Absalon, James, James Keels himself, Tampa, the General, Bruce, Cat. Yeah, shouts out to everybody, man. Yeah, cause I like doing these. I like doing these. This is nothing for me. This is like a Saturday. I'll say like a Saturday morning stream. So just check y'all in. Yeah. So with that, I want to say peace.